On tonight's episode, we talk about the new Guy Ritchie movie, Operation Fortune, Rue the Girl.
As well as other pop culture news from the week.
We just saw Operation Fortune, Rue the Girl, the new Guy Ritchie movie, and we're gonna talk about it, among other things.
Yeah.
And the guy does that very well. So, I mean, that meaning making movies. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
this one is a different a different style, different almost genre of his doing, but there's a lot of cool things, a lot of fun things. We're gonna talk about it. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I have to admit, I was very, very tired and maybe fell asleep a little bit at one point. But that's a me problem and not a problem with the not saying anything about the movie. It was fun. There's some things that Guy Ritchie does really well. He assembles fun casts and plays to their strengths, uses that cast to the best of their abilities. This is no exception. I really enjoyed this soundtrack and the music. Yeah, the soundtrack for this one. And it's a really fun heist movie. It's a little more, I want to say, mainstream than other Guy Ritchie movies. Instead of following several different groups of people, we really stick with one main group through the whole thing, so it's a little bit more straightforward, I guess, but it's still all the fun of heists and bad guys and all that good stuff.
Yeah, again, he has his style of making things, and he can you check your audio?
Yeah, it's good.
You throw the wires
Oh, sorry.
It's good. Okay. He has this very specific style of making movies.
Yeah.
His gang, his British group of people, and the story he tells. Rock and Roller, Snatchers, and two smoking guns, and I can't remember the name.
Was it The Gentleman? Is that the one with
The
Matthew McConaughey?
Gentleman
Yeah.
was the more recent one, with Matthew McConaughey, and also so many people, including Hugh Grant, that is on this one.
Yes.
As well. This one, he brings back Jason Statham, someone he worked since his very first movie. And this one is very, very, is an actual, I can't remember, it's not R, is it? Is it R?
It might be. Honestly, I wasn't counting F words or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one might be PG-13. That's worth checking. Oh, another one that makes it stand out. A lot of his movies deal with sort of the underbelly of English gangster life and everything. This one, everybody's pretty wealthy or well funded. So it's less I know that's just it made it a little different.
I was not sure.
Than his bread and
Isn't
butter.
that the name of the movie, Operation Fortune?
I thought so. Do you want me to keep looking when you talk about it?
Yeah, well, I can't remember what to talk about it now.
Oh.
The heck? Operation Drug
The
Enforcement.
rating?
It's right here. Okay. It's R. Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Never mind.
But he wrote, he directed, as usual. And yes, Lock and Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, as I mentioned, his first movie where Jason Statham is present. Revolver, Ratchet Man, he was of course on Snatch, among others. They filmed in Turkey and Qatar, but anyways, it's an action, what we call in America action comedy. There's a lot of funny, but it's a funny it's funny, different than his usual, than his other movies. You know, the British humor, the dark humor. This one is more American. He did some interesting.
Yeah.
He did some interesting. He made some interesting choices. He did some interesting things in the writing concerning some of the characters. He kind of brought Aubrey Plaza as like a anti-Bond girl.
That's a good way to describe
on
it.
a sense that not saying that every Bond girl is a damsel in distress and they will like, oh, James. It's actually the exception, and some are, but in specific moments of the movie, not the entire movie. A classic example is I can't remember her name now, but Pussy Galore coming out of the water, you know, with a knife.
Is that?
Isn't it? Yeah. Hey, Doctor No. Yeah. Anyways, in this one, it was very interesting because she's beautiful, she's sensual, but she uses her sensuality as a joke. Like most of the time, she's like talking to the agent in the field, and she's like using double, what's it called?
Double entendres.
Double entendres.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. Some of the stuff that she says and she does. And it was a very interesting addition, the way, because he usually, I might be saying something wrong, maybe not. He doesn't have a lot of women in his movies. He does direct a lot of movies, his own, his masterpieces, but he goes out of that and direct commercial stuff. Like he directed Aladdin, the Disney version of Aladdin. Wrath of Man was like a more serious, more dark crime police type of movie, and so in this one he had a chance to write a woman, and he uses her in the movie, in the writing, in a very, very, very smart way, showing her skills, showing her beauty, but also making fun of characters, woman characters from the past that you know was just pretty and in distress. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And Hugh Grant is great. Jason Statham. So as what's a Pirate Jack? What's his book?
Carrie Elwes.
Carrie. I thought Carrie Elwes was
delightful.
perfect put there. It's when we saw, what was the movie called? The movie Daily Wire made. I can't remember.
I blocked it from my memory because it was a waste of time.
It
was so poorly done.
That he's there, and I thought it's like, yeah, that character or him could be used on something else that would be interesting, and it's pretty much what he does on this one. He's like the boss, and he's like serious, but he's not confrontation. He's banter with the main guy. Gives us some very, very funny moments. Yeah, it's full of action. Jason Statham still kick butt, and
noses, ribs, lots of body parts are kicked and punched, and all the rest.
And it was cool. It was fun. I definitely liked it. The Guy Ritchie doesn't disappoint. It's anything else?
No, I'd say this fits really nicely into the spy action heist, high stakes criminal type genre. It was super fun, and it's worth a watch.
And not the first time he does this, but this one kind of leaves it open to, you know, maybe more might come, even though I don't think he ever did a sequel. He did left open a couple times in other movies, but Rock'n'Rolla especially was like, I think he wanted to do a trilogy, and it basically ends like, and I see you next time on a continuation, something. The Rock'n'Rolla will be back. It's stuff like that, very, very like with credits and the even like a pseudo poster for the next movie, but it never happened. He said several times that he wanna make it, but you know, everybody in the cast is like super busy, and it's
that's too
complicated to
bad.
put them together.
Isn't he involved in the Netflix series as a spinoff of The Gentleman?
Probably.
So that, I mean, I guess it's not really a sequel per se, but
I don't
I
remember any of that. I would say probably, at least producing, maybe directing the pilot. That's how they usually go.
Right.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Operation Fortune, Rudiger, it's available everywhere.
Yep. Okay, we also saw M3GAN this week. This is streaming on Peacock. It's a horror movie about a super intelligent toy.
I do they call that horror?
Well, I don't know. How would you describe it?
It's very if it's a slash, if it's a slash, it is a PG-13. It is a PG-13 actually.
Yeah.
PG-13 slasher. And
is it more of a thriller?
No, it's not a thriller.
Yeah.
I guess it's a
so it's horror.
Comedy, dark comedy. I don't know.
Was it that funny though?
But it wasn't that horrifying also.
And so we come to my overall impression, where the trailers had me thinking, like, super intrigued. This is going to be a fun movie. I personally was kind of disappointed. It wasn't slasher enough or horror enough to, like, be funny to watch the way that, like, Final Destination is. It wasn't scary enough to be, like, on the edge of my seat. And most of the plot was depended on everybody, every single person in the film being just a complete moron. And for me personally, I can only handle so much of that. Like, you gotta find that sweet spot between comedy and horror and thrill and all that in order for one of these movies to work. I feel like Cocaine Bear found that. I feel like movies like Final Destination find that. This one just didn't quite get there for me, even though it was a cool concept. And they did a great job with the doll, M3GAN. I thought she was very effectively done, finding that balance between like having a real actress in there and animatronics and other visual effects. So like great job there, but just I felt like it fell short.
Yeah, it's very. I was joking the other day. This kind of like the horror movie. It's like comedies now not funny. This was kind of the horror movie that was in horror, and the funny wasn't really funny. So I don't know. It pays homage to old movies like Child's Play, and had some scenes that even referenced RoboCop and even still what's it called? The one of Hugh Jackman.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't remember the name.
where he's like a boxer and
uses the robot.
and he uses the robots.
Yeah. So all that. It plays on the fear of technology and AI. So a little bit of Terminator too. And I don't know, the deaths are like there's a couple people that die and one get hurt. And we saw the unrated version on Peacock, so it's like if this is the unrated, how's the rated version? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know, some things that they will try to modernize will fail, and this one was definitely one that didn't. If this was made in the 80s, this like a lot of people would die. It would be like some crazy fun jokes, and it would be scary. And at the end, the heroes would beat the bad guys, and you would like celebrate with the heroes. And this one was kind of like, yeah. Anyways, M3GAN is available on Peacock, and I actually gave Peacock the first top streaming spot of the year. Dethroning Your Place or My Place from Netflix. So I guess it's good for them. They might make more.
Yeah.
The movie lives in a cliffhanger, and yeah. Anyways.
Okay, we also saw the first episode of Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah. So also Pedro Pascal kind of had a day off in the last episode of The Last of Us, but on this one, he's full back at work, trying to go back to Mandalorian and get redemption. No spoilers, you know. It's been on the trailers. It's been how the season ended, and this one has a lot of Mandalorians and action. It looks good, and I thought it was very interesting. It was very interesting and compelling that when it ends, it's like wait, they're gonna end there, and they end kind of like in the middle of the action. There's no conclusions, no like Monster of the Week. This one, at least it started like he's gonna go. There's a goal. There's something to be done, and he's gonna work on it.
Yep,
Maybe the entire season. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun thing. They dealt with Cara Dune on a very like. Where's Cara Dune? I was like, oh, she was recruited by Special Forces, and that's it.
Which
and then the conversation
there's
moved.
so
right
many
then.
articles all over the place that are like, here's how they deal with Cara Dune getting fired. Like, it wasn't even that big a deal. They could have just ignored it.
Yeah, if you mean Special Forces, the people at Daily Wire, is like,
yeah.
I don't think she will come back. Even though the writer said that the character will not be killed, but I think it's a little bit of damage control. I don't think they're gonna kill the character because if the whole thing made Disney look bad, killing the character would make them look even worse. So
yeah, that just kind of rubs salt in the wound.
Yeah, to keep her in the shadow, it's like let's not talk about it. Yeah, so that's what they did. Yeah.
Anyway, so if you're expecting much there, just don't. It wasn't that big a deal.
She was expected. She was getting a solo show, Space Rangers from the space, something like that. Marshals, right? She's a marshal.
Honestly, I don't remember. This all went down so
Rangers,
long
Star
ago.
Trek, marshals isn't. Anyways, so but yeah. Anyways.
Yep.
Disney, The Mandalorian season 3 is available on Disney Plus every Wednesday.
Yep. So enjoy that. Sticking with Disney and box offices for a moment, it seems that Ant-Man has become yet another casualty of the cocaine bear.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear came to dethrone Ant-Man on the second week at the box office. And Ant-Man did pretty bad. They had like the worst fall from premiere to second week on Disney Marvel movies history, which
I don't get
they
it.
usually fall. They usually fall a lot, but this time was steep. I think it was the second one. I don't know. It wasn't the worst. Or maybe it was the worst. Either way, it's in the bottom as it went to the bottom.
That's too bad. I feel like it deserves to do better than several other recent Marvel movies. But, oh well, not everyone has taste as refined and educated as ours.
Yeah, it got destroyed by the critics. The audiences liked it, but it's a game of numbers. That's why the premiere is so important, because it's rare for a movie to underperform on the premiere and then go back up on the following weeks. Usually it does well on the premiere, or it doesn't, and it's kind of a fabricated number because the critics come, and if the critics like, it might go up. Of course, there's some properties that are bulletproof that even with the critics saying it's terrible, it still perform well. But some are hanging there that someone say boo, and that what happened to Ant-Man.
Yeah, so that's too bad. Sticking with Disney for a little longer, the Santa Claus season 2 is adding to its cast. Eric Stonestreet is joining.
Yeah, the chubby guy from A Modern Family, Cameron.
Yeah,
I think it was Cameron. I think
yeah.
Santa. He does have a look.
He has the build.
Santa.
He does. Okay.
So, but we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Tim Allen is still Santa, and the first season was about retiring. I hope second season will not be about that, because come
Yeah.
on, it was a whole thing. He retired, and then he went back. You know, it's one trope that
It's really annoying to revisit
Yeah.
the same storyline or the same crisis over and
we
over.
hope is not the case. But
Yeah.
this is a funny, talented comedian, an actor, and he's gonna. I'm talking about what's his name?
Stone Street?
Eric Stone Street. He's gonna be there with Tim Allen doing whatever they're gonna do. We don't know.
We sure don't, but we'll find out. Presumably at Christmas time. Reed Richards. There's been a lot of fan casting and rumors and all the rest.
There's a lot of rumors, and after Ant-Man and this whole mess, there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. There's some good news that John Krasinski might remain a Reed Richards, even though past weeks there's a lot of rumors that Dev Patel, not Dev. What's his name? Is Dev Patel?
There is a Dev Patel.
Who's Dev Patel? What he did?
Dev Patel
The
was
Green Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dev Patel that was being rumored.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
For Reed Richards. A lot of people hope not. Let's stick to the original, the classics. They already tried to change the color and the family of the characters on the Fantastic Four, and it failed. Michael B.
That
Jordan
movie was terrible.
and so let's try to stick to the class. The original movies were fun. They had problems, yeah, but at least people didn't hate the main characters, like it was in the Michael B. Jordan. The people liked it so much that a certain Johnny Storm became Steve Rogers, who became Captain America. So
Wasn't that Johnny Storm? No, he was Johnny Storm with the other ones.
I'm talking about
The first round of.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay. Sorry, I got mixed up.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So Krasinski staying is a good news. There's some other rumors about Dakota Johnson.
There you go.
Would be Sue Storm, but again, there's some rumors saying that they're looking for a Dakota Johnson type, which is like,
What's that even mean?
yeah, I don't know,
Huh.
woman blonde. Like, okay, so you're looking for a
But
woman
she's
blonde,
usually brunette.
which
though.
which can be any woman, since we have technology, not only CGI but dye,
Hair dye, yeah.
dye. So,
Like, yeah, that's.
so, but yeah,
Huh.
those are the rumors for Fantastic Four.
Okay. Disney is not immune to all the financial woes of whatever, turbulent economy. And Citi thinks, like, as in Citibank?
Is a city analyst, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is thinking that Disney might sell Hulu so they can get the Hulk? Or what is happening?
So
there?
2024, January 2024, there's a clause in the contract that Disney can buy the rest of the what's it called, the equity,
I have no idea.
the equity of Hulu from Comcast, but since Disney is going through a crisis, also amplified by their woke positions, but also because of Biden inflation, and they might sell what they have from Hulu to Comcast. They already have Disney Plus. But in the trade, they could get the distribution rights for Hulk and Namor, because they don't have distribution rights for those characters. It's still
So weird.
That's why they never made, and at this point they will never make a Hulk solo movie, because they can't distribute, and that's where the money is.
Yeah.
So there's rumors and analysts analyzing this. So far, it's conjecture. There's no fact about it, but we don't know. They might buy the rest of Hulu, or they might sell it and get the rights back. Because buying the rest of Hulu doesn't mean they would get the Hulk and Namor back. That's a different deal. But if they sell Hulu back to Comcast, or the rest of Hulu back to Comcast. And, deal with like, I want this, I want this. It might happen.
Okay.
We'll see.
We shall see. Disney dropped a couple of intriguing trailers. The first is for Haunted Mansion.
Oh, so the first two, I was like, right away, I was like, why? One of those. It's like, why? It's like the Haunted Mansion. They have one with Eddie Murphy. It was fun. It was entertaining. It's based on a ride. Right?
Yeah, but so was Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was a crazy popular franchise.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I guess who made Tomorrowland or Haunted Mansion or some of the other rides. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have talented people. Or maybe Disney tried to stick to the formula they do, and they fail. Sometimes they fail. Anyways, but and Peter Pan. But back to Haunted House, they have one.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. It's not Haunted House.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a mansion.
Sure.
It's an ordinary house.
And they have one with Eddie Murphy moving to the house. Yeah, that's funny, interesting. It's not the greatest movie, but Disney has some movies. They're not the greatest. It happens. Now they brought a bigger cast, a slightly bigger cast, and they're gonna try again. I honestly, I don't know. I don't. It's not that exciting.
Yeah. I'm willing to give it a shot. We got Rosario Dawson, Owen Wilson.
Because
I already forgot the other. There's another. Oh, Tiffany Haddish, Danny DeVito.
Is Tiffany Haddish there? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyways, it's so dark I couldn't see. But I think one of the limitations, comparing to Pirates, one of the limitations is this one takes place in a place, in a house, mansion, whatever. And Pirates, it's like there's no limit. They can go everywhere, and they go to the world's end and back and beyond and back. Anyways,
that's true. Yeah, there's a lot. Pirates maybe lends itself better, but this could still be a fun movie. It was actually one of my favorite rides at Disneyland.
It's really good. It's a classic one.
It is a classic one, and
for
so
now,
there's room
for Disney gonna shut it down.
Yeah. But there's room for some fun stories. From the trailer, it looks like they didn't hold back on the creepiness or the ghosts or anything. So this might not necessarily be as family friendly as, say, Jungle Cruise or Tomorrowland or some of the other movies based on rides. But it could be fun.
Yeah.
It could also be really terrible. We'll see.
I mean, to be honest, what excited me about it was Danny DeVito there. It has been a while since we've seen him in movies. We've seen him in Sunny. He's just terrific as Frank Reynolds. But we'll see. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, another trailer of Peter Pan and Wendy.
And again, an old property, old Disney property, and they're gonna do a live action version, taking a lot of liberties for quotes, modern audiences, and they should call Wendy and Peter Pan. We saw way more Wendy than Peter Pan. Wendy, this portrayed by Mila Jovovich, daughter, and you can tell, like, I was like, that looks like someone I know. It's because she looks a lot like her mother. And Captain Hook, Wendy, Peter Pan, Lost Boys, Indians, mermaids.
Yeah.
We didn't see the croc, did we?
We did not see the crocodile in the trailer.
But besides that, it's besides the fact that it's based on a Disney animation, and the credits, if you check the credits there's like 15 people has credits for this movie, because everybody that has had credits for the original are getting credit for this one, which is kind of like, I wonder if they are afraid and they putting other people's name there. No. It's the original guy's fault. But there's like several other Peter Pan movies, and animations or not. So we'll see.
Yep, we will. I'm apprehensive about the portrayal of Native Americans, because it seems like they swung to the other side of the, like, a horrible, like, lame attempts at portraying Native Americans. Whereas the old one, they're like, they sing the song, like, what makes the red man red? It's like, wow, that's not great, super racist. And then this one, what little we saw, it seems like they really leaned into, like, the noble savage stereotype, more like the Pocahontas movie. And if we could, like, get somewhere in the middle where, like, they just get to be people, that'd be nice. But I don't know. We'll see. It's Peter Pan has inspired so many retellings and adaptations, and so we'll give this one a chance.
Yeah.
Hook is still one of my favorites, though.
Hook is
a classic.
It's an expansion, it's an expanded universe type of story. It's the future of Peter Pan, but again, he comes back to save the day. Yeah, Finding Neverland was really good too. With Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Again, there's so many. It's tough to see how this gonna hit the water, but we'll see.
Okay, another trailer we saw was for, this is more of a teaser, I guess.
Super teaser.
Yeah. So this is for a new series coming from Damon Lindelof called Mrs. Davis.
Yeah, he's and there's some news about this. Very interesting because there's news this week. Just to connect, this week CNET laid off 10%. Will laid off the next couple of weeks actually. 10% of the staff after launching articles written by AI. So they went to the writer's room and 10% of you out. We don't need you. We have a computer. And that's pretty much it. So on that note, this new Damon Lindelof series, you know, he was the Left Behind, Lost, and among other very good things. So this show called Mrs. Davis is about an AI, and the teaser is just everybody talk to her.
No, it's she wants to talk to you. People,
she wants to
like
talk to
strangers in the street handing you an earbud, like, oh, she wants to talk to you.
Yeah, so it's almost like a divine a creature that's everywhere. So it's like God wants to talk to you, So it's an AI. The trailer doesn't explicit that, but it is. And the show is about this nun by Betty Gilpin. That's gonna fight this AI. Sounds fun. It
sounds intriguing, and increasingly relevant as AI becomes more common and reaches further into our lives. It, like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. We shall see. Oh shoot, did we get a date for that? I don't remember a date.
April, May, July.
Coming.
It's 1 month.
Time. Okay.
It's Mrs. like this.
MRS.
Oh.
Mrs. is MRS.
I thought Mrs. was for a married woman.
Yeah, it is.
But she's a nun.
Well, yeah.
Davis, like this.
Is Mrs. Davis the nun?
Okay. I think so.
Okay.
April 20th.
No, the AI is Mrs. Davis is the AI.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She looked fearless as a nun can be.
Yeah.
Where is her? Where is her?
I don't know.
Like, she's the main thing, and she's not.
Oh, maybe she's not. We'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger also has something new coming. A series called Fubar, coming to Netflix in May.
Interesting. Just real quick about the Mrs. Davis. Betty Gilpin character's name is Simone, which is another AI movie. It's called Simone. It's a Simulation 1. Is this AI that writes a movie and wins an Oscar and becomes this big sensation, and she doesn't exist, so they have to find ways to send a human to pretend that she's Simone. Very interesting movie.
Intriguing.
Old at this point, but
I haven't heard of
very
it.
current. I think Al Pacino is on it. Yeah. Anyways, back to Arnold the Governor.
Yeah, he's got a show called Fubar. It's coming to Netflix in May.
Action packed.
Yep.
The teaser short, and
Yep.
he kicks a lot of butts.
He says, what did he say? I'm back.
Baby.
As promised. He's back. So, ayo. Okay, Sherlock Holmes 3. That's the Guy Ritchie, isn't it?
What?
Sherlock
Yes,
Holmes?
he did the first two. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Robert Downey Jr. is back, and maybe Henry Cavill's going to join
There's
him?
rumors that Henry Cavill might be involved. There's other rumors about Cavill too. He's like he's hot. And by hot, I'm not talking about his physical appearance because sure he's hot, but he sells tickets. He's a big what's it called?
It's okay. You can say he's attractive.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he's like he attracts
He's a big
audiences.
Royalty? No, is I can't remember. But anyways, he sells tickets and bring people to the theaters. When the time that theaters are struggling for so many reasons after the pandemic, because streaming is booming, there's rumors that Paramount wants him for Star Trek. So there's no details about it. Chris Pine was on an interview this week and said that it frustrates him about Star Trek 4 because he wants it. He likes it, but it's not going anywhere at this point, and he feels like it's cursed.
That's fair. It's been years.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody's even talking about it a whole lot.
So, you're still on the Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery was announced they're gonna have a 5th and last season, and
yeah. I mean, maybe that's why no one's really talking about Star Trek movies. There's so many Star Trek series that are doing really well.
Yeah,
like that
but
seems to be where things are.
Yeah, but it's different departments. Television, still television and movies. So people that doing movies, they not gonna go talk to people in television and vice versa. Which they sometimes they should, to connect a universe, to spend a universe. But this is not the reality. It's completely
For past Star
different
Trek movies, the exception of J.J. Abrams, it was the people who doing the show who made the movies.
But they moved to the movies.
Yes. But
it's not even and you see it's different. Look, the television and movies, it's different budget, it's different structure.
Yeah.
So
you can.
It's like anyways. On that note, television and movies, to put more nails on the Rings of Power coffin, even though they're not going anywhere, they're gonna make more shows. Warner wants to make more Lord of the Rings, and they just announced that celebrating 20 years, and it feels like it was yesterday.
It really does.
They're gonna re-release Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, April 16, I think, in theaters everywhere. So a way to excite and to measure excitement.
Yeah.
For the next installments of Lord of the Rings movies.
Yep. Okay. Also, in the fantasy world, HBO is maybe kind of sort of talking about doing a Hogwarts Legacy TV series. I'm glad to hear they're doing a TV series because this game is a really big game. There's no way you could do it justice in, well, I mean, maybe you could in a movie. It'd have to be a big movie. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so this is a game that I'm playing. This is only the second actual narrative video game that I've played, but I finished the Last of Us, and now watching the TV series, I finally get why it's so hard to successfully adapt a video game to a movie or a show. And part of it is because when you play the video game, you're so emotionally invested in everything. Because you're making it happen. You're the one who's fighting the bad guys and all the rest. And so then you go from that.
Also, video games these days, they have better writers.
They have great writers and vast storylines that take hours to play.
They're not limited to time, They can tell a story as long as they want.
And you can have a bajillion side quests to flesh out the world and flesh out side characters and all the rest.
Just parts of the story they're in books or in files or in tapes that you might play the entire game, you not check, the books, files, tapes, collectibles. You collect books, you collect, secret files,
Yeah.
So it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's a big task to take on. So, again, it's probably a good thing they're doing a TV series. But even then, like, there's, like, a level of emotional engagement that just isn't going to be there. Like, watching The Last of Us, it doesn't feel as high stakes. Partly because there are no zombies and, like, everything's way easier for them.
And taking all the liberties, just, like... They focusing on stuff that, again, no zombies and
like
making like
where's the fear and the tension,
bizarre telenovela of these people crossing the country, and it's
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just saying, what he's been saying for ages. Like I finally get it, and if they could do a good job, this would be a really fun thing to watch. But it's a big thing to take on, and good luck.
Yeah, I know. Video games, storytelling-wise, they're so much better than movies and series you have these days. To the point that the games have cinematics, have cutscenes, has introduction scenes that guide the story, that tells the story, or even the entire game. Online on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch. I don't think Twitch does it, but anyways, on streaming services, you have the entire game for you to watch. And I don't, but there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the views. Anyways.
Okay. So, good luck to them. Okay, Woody Harrelson hosted SNL.
Yes,
and
he,
boy, that was interesting.
He cracked jokes about drugs, how he used drugs, and how he got a script, and how the script was kind of ridiculous because people would be forced to take drugs, and that caused commotion and controversy because he's talking against the government and big pharma, which he was. He was clear about it.
He was quite explicit, like the irony of the government forcing you to take some drugs but forbidding you from taking other drugs.
Yeah.
When one drug maybe isn't necessarily as safe as you might want it to be or as effective.
Yeah.
Anyway.
On both cases, limiting choices. Anyways.
Yeah. So.
Talk about choices. TikTok is limiting teen daily screen time to 1 hour, and that came after quotes studies that TikTok might be damaging kids' minds and influencing them improperly, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
Also on TikTok, Canada banned TikTok from government phones, which I mean, we shouldn't have it anyways. Is a Chinese spy is established that, but to ban TikTok on a government phone, it sounds like they shouldn't have it.
Like, should you have it anyway?
Either way. So it's like, why?
Yeah.
You have to make a. I mean, anyways. So it's. I don't know.
That's interesting. Stranger Things is coming to the West End. Apparently.
Yeah, it's getting a play adaptation for the stages, and it's gonna be set in the 1950s, like an origin story. It's not clear.
Oh, interesting.
But anyways.
Okay. Maybe the beginnings of Papa.
Sure.
I don't know if I could handle a whole musical about, or a whole
it's not
play
about
him. All right. Tell us about Hellboy.
Okay, they got Hellboy. Let's try again. Third version of Hellboy, and they cast Jack Kesy.
Who is that?
It's an actor.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember seeing him in anything.
Okay.
He's gonna be Hellboy in Hellboy: The Crooked Man.
All right. We will probably see that too. And last but not least, Kiss is going on a farewell tour this year.
Yes, and the tour will end at Madison Square Garden December December 1st and 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
What they're gonna rock and roll all night. You know.
Mm-hmm. One last time.
Yeah.
Or two last times, I guess.
Or is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time a band says, like, this is the farewell tour, I mean, how many has Cher done? She's done so many.
Who?
Elton John, Cher.
Yeah.
She's retired a number of times.
I never heard of Cher retiring or not non-retiring. So.
Yeah. Dude.
But
Anyway.
there's some classic bands like I think Red Hot Chili Peppers retired a couple times and came back, and
which is fine. Like if you've got more music to make, like knock yourself out. I'm not gonna stop you. But I'm always just a little skeptical when a band says it's the farewell tour.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these people are getting too old, so
yeah,
they get some more money to pay some expenses and goodbye everybody.
Yeah. It sounds like I'm sure the concert is going to be pretty epic. Kiss at Madison Square Garden one last final time.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. So, December 1st and 2nd, you can plan ahead.
Yes. Yeah. What else?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it for this week. Next week we come back. There's new shows. The show's ending. And The Last of Us is coming to the last 2 episodes, which at this point is like the odds, the way they made the show, the odds are so, it's like when they do what we know they're gonna do, if they do, you know, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we'll see, and for sure we will have lots of opinions about it.
It feels like Morbius. You know, at the end of Morbius, the post-credit scene, we went to see at the theaters, and there was a couple, and I think it was only that couple. I don't know if anyone behind us, but there was a couple in front of us. There was when they showed the trailer, the post-credit scene that connected to a prospective future of the MCU and characters from Sony's Spider-Verse. And what happened, I can't remember what happens, but it was like, yeah! You know, that's the scene. The scene excited people more than the movie. And The Last of Us, it feels like there's people getting excited and getting references, teases for chapter 2 for the second game because they're already seeing characters there, which. To be honest, I didn't play, but everybody talks bad about the second game. It's not as good as the first one.
That's sad.
And people are getting excited for that it's not as good as the first one. So if they're failing on the first one, you know, it's like, what's the point? Well, anyways, but yeah, there's more stuff. There's more pop culture news. We'll be back. May the force be with you.
So long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.